Let's do it.
From Hollywood, welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
So, did anything exciting happen over the weekend? Yes? No? Well, let me ask. Who's feeling patriotic and ready to go on another action-packed adventure? Yeah, I know I is. Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. Lo and behold, President Trump popped a cap in Iran's ass over the weekend. Who's ready for more from the attention whore? Are you mad as hell? We're going to find out. Another example of Democratic dipshittery is coming up. And the NBA season is finally over. So what's next? We'll tell you. Another round of head trauma is on the way. We're going to play It Sounds Dirty, but it's not. Plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior. Yeah, that's what's coming up today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Monday, June 23rd. Thanks for pressing play and choosing to hang out with us for a bit. I'm really happy to share this information with you. The Rat's Ass Podcast now has listeners in 55 countries. The top 5 are the United States, of course, Brazil, Canada, Germany, and the UK. Yes, there is a fungus among us, and it's the Rat's Ass Podcast with What's My Name? All right, we have 355 Rat Nation members in the vault. That's very exciting, very exciting. And Radio Wars continues as our search for the best classic rock station in the nation rolls on. You can check it all out at ratsasspodcast.com. And what a weekend, huh? When we left on Friday, we thought, it's just going to be another summer weekend, the first weekend of summer. President Trump said, well, to hell with that 2-week notice, and popped a cap in Iran's ass, taking out 3 of their nuclear weapon sites, which means the chance of death to America and death to Israel will continue. But they're going to have to rely on water guns from this point on. I mean, it was such a great mission, start to finish. Israel set them up, Trump knocked them down, and now Israel's going to go in and do the mop-up. But we're waiting to see if Iran is stupid enough to tug on Superman's cape again. But what a sight it was watching the stealth B-2s landing over the weekend, coming back from the mission. Not a scratch on them. They weren't even fired upon. I mean, this was precision to a T. So congrats to our U.S. military. And within an hour of this happening and breaking on the news, what a dumbass Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is. Okay, everybody calls her AOC because that's just too much to say. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. God, can we give her an acronym? So it's AOC. But it wasn't an hour before she was on social media calling for Trump to be impeached. And the legacy media, of course, the tabloid news, the way they operate today, picked up on it and started giving the attention whore what she wanted. Now, here's the deal with AOC. She's 35 years old. She has no real-life experience outside of growing a social media following and being known as an acronym, AOC. Now, before she got lucky and won an election, she whipped up screwdrivers, rum and coke, and poured beer in a bar after graduating from college. And now she's calling for the impeachment of the president. Who does she think she is? I'll tell you who. She's an admitted socialist with her roots embedded in communism. Now, essentially, her goal is to turn America into Cuba, where the government tells you when you can breathe and you serve the government. Now, this legacy media that we have today, like I said, they operate as tabloid journalists. They piss me off because they've given her a national platform to spew this venom. Now, in my day, working with the news media, I would have never given her the time of day. She would have never got 5 seconds on the air. Because in my view, communism in this country should be shot down every single time it raises its ugly head. Now, if America isn't careful, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find ourselves on a daily diet of government peanut butter and cheese, drinking dirty tap water like they do in Cuba. So do your homework, learn who these people are, and learn about her background. And by the way, Alexandria is now a 2-time winner of the Rat's Ass Podcast Dumbass Award. Are you familiar with the Republican delegate from Virginia, Nick Freitas? Freitas? Is it Freitas? Yeah, it's Freitas. Hey, Freitas, Nick Freitas. He had an interesting take on why Republicans and Democrats have a difficult time coming together on just about anything today. Here's Nick.
Well, Mr. Speaker, a Democrat has got up and essentially accused us that if we don't want to do what they want to do in order to solve a problem, we're racist, or we're mean, or we're stupid, or we're bigoted, or we're incompetent. So it must be any other day of the week, because that's pretty much how this narrative always goes. I mean, it's always the party of tolerance that is immediately ready to accuse us of the worst possible intentions if we disagree. I thought for a moment we wanted to talk about facts. So Delegate Coiner got up and she delivered some facts that were relevant with respect to the education of our children. But no, you're just a racist. It's the same old grift in a different day. And we're tired of it. Because I don't know anybody on this side of the aisle, and I don't think I know anybody on that side of the aisle that doesn't want to do what's best for our children, but we will disagree on what that is. And I can tell you, for all the talk on the other side of the aisle, talking about we tried to do this and we wanted to do this and you voted against it, and because you voted against what the Democrats wanted to do, therefore you don't care. Listen, I got to tell you, Mr. Speaker, my constituents look at a lot of the things that our Democrat colleagues want to do, and their response is, please stop helping. Because they don't know if their business or their child or their family or their community can survive yet another tax, regulation, rule, restriction, fee, government program, government spending. Because I'll guarantee this much, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the Democrat side of the aisle, the solution is always the same. Give politicians and bureaucracies more power at the expense of individual liberty, individual freedom, property rights, you name it. We sit here and we wonder why we have problems in systems which are increasingly under the control of politicians and bureaucrats. I don't know about you, Mr. Speaker, but I don't look at many of the challenges that I face in my life and think to myself, you know what would make this better? Giving politicians more money and power.
I think Nick spelled it out pretty good for you right there. When they lay these things out, if Democrats don't get their way, they whip out all the slurs designed to bully their opponent into doing things their way. Well, people have had enough, and I think Nick was kind to just say, we're tired of it. I think it goes much deeper than that.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
All right, would you mind indulging me just for a few more seconds before we push on? Can I give you an example of more Democratic dipshittery? Think about this. Over the past 9 to 10 months, the Democrats have tried to attempt to paint Donald Trump as a threat to democracy. Then he was a wannabe dictator. Remember? He said it. On day one, he wants to be a dictator. And when that didn't grab your goods, they switched to Trump is suddenly Elon's puppet. Remember that one? And now he's a wannabe king. Democrats. Which is it? Would you please, for the love of Christ, make up your frickin' mind?
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
Who let the Democrat in here?
His mama definitely raised a fool.
Oh, God, now she's starting.
Here is Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
Oh, God. Here we go. It's going to be another fun week. It took 7 games, but the Oklahoma City Thunder beat Indiana 103-91 last night to win their first NBA title. Unfortunately for the Pacers, they felt the effects of losing star point guard Tyrese Halliburton in the second period, who went down with an Achilles injury. I mean, they hung in there. They fought hard. They led at the half, but second half, third quarter, Oklahoma City came out and just took over. But it's like I said on Friday, anything can happen in a Game 7. Players get injured, foul trouble, somebody fouls out. In this case, it was an injury that cost Indiana. But people say, well, you know, Indiana would have won if Halliburton hadn't got hurt. But bottom line is, injuries are part of the game. All right, next up, it's the NBA draft on Wednesday. Then players who have options must either pick them up or reject them by June 29th. And free agency officially gets underway on June 30th, so we're not wasting any time right now. We already had our first major trade. The Phoenix Suns are trading soon-to-be 37-year-old Kevin Durant to Houston for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 draft pick in this year's NBA draft, plus 5 future second-round picks for 37-year-old Kevin Durant. Houston, I want to tell you right now, you're going to have a problem. To put a lid on the NBA and NHL playoffs this year, there were 30 playoff series between the two, and I went 18-12 picking series winners. And, well, that's only 60%, gang. 60%.
Uh-oh. We got a moron here. Is that
It appears so. All right, and congratulations to LSU, the Tigers, on winning their College World Series for the second time in 3 years. They held off Coastal Carolina to earn the hardware. Congrats to LSU and the Tigers.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we're going to play It Sounds Dirty, but It's Not. Here are 3 clues, and you have to tell me what I'm describing. Are you ready? Little pricks are usually found in my bush. I have a distinctive aroma. I get dried out and shriveled when I'm old. Sounds dirty, but it's not. I'll read them again. Little pricks are usually found in my bush. I have a distinctive aroma, and I get dried out and shriveled when I'm old. All right, kick it around, marinate on it, overthink it, and I'll have the answers for you coming up a little bit later on here on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, let's do it. It is Monday. Let's get nuts. All right, here's what's happening on the Rat's Ass Podcast X feed. We call it Solid on the X. Wang Bang posted this one. Where were you caught having sex where you shouldn't have been? All right, Eileen Salvatore said, I stupidly was having sex on my office desk after hours with a guy I met at the bar across the street. When my boss returned to pick something up, he forgot. I was fired immediately, and I never saw the dude I was banging again. Heck no, he got the cookie and left. Rex Abercrombie said, I got caught by my wife. Whoa! I got caught by my wife doing it with a neighbor in her SUV parked in her garage. During the act, one of us hit the garage door opener, and bada bing, bada boom, I'm single again. What else would you expect, Rex? All right, Lexi Ferris said, during my senior year of high school, I got caught doing it with my teacher in his van down by the river. Just kidding. Oh, I'd love somebody with a sense of humor. God, that's funny. I was doing it with my teacher in his van down by the river. Yeah, just kidding. All right, how many times do I have to tell you guys, though? If you want to have sex without fear of getting caught, find a cemetery. It's that easy.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, $1 Million beach star Sarah Burke died when she was hit by a car driven by Amanda Kempton, who told police she thought she hit a traffic cone. And that's why she kept driving. Kempton claims it was foggy and she didn't see Burke, and Kempton is now out on bail. You know, and I jumped to conclusions on Friday. I said it was a male driver. I just called him an SOB. But, hey, guess what, gang? I made a mistake. So I need to take my own advice and get my facts straight before assuming anything. All right, Justin Bieber's wife, Haley, was seen out in New York without her wedding ring. And, you know, that just sends off bells and whistles with the paparazzi. Well, it appears it was due to a fight she had with Bieber. He posted this on Instagram. And why they put this stuff on social media drives me nuts, but it's that generation. He said, bitch, if you're going to give me the silent treatment, at least tell me why. Well, let me jump in here, Justin, and tell you this, man. Dude, calling your wife and the mother of your children a bitch, that's probably why you're getting the silent treatment. All right, Johnny Depp is feeling butthurt because he says the Me Too movement used him and treated him like a crash test dummy. Depp said he was taken to task for his allegations from the trial he had with Amber Heard and also having a close relationship with Harvey Weinstein. Now, Depp isn't getting any offers for work anymore, and he feels kind of blackballed by the business. But I'm thinking it might have something to do with that Johnny is now 62 and looks like he hasn't showered since the 80s. Ex-NFL coach Bill Belichick. We always have to mention that he's 73. He's still justifying why he's involved with 24-year-old Jordan Hudson. So that's why we always throw the age thing in there. Bill, who is now the head coach at the University of North Carolina, people are questioning, why is Jordan seen at the school so often? And Belichick had to explain that he and Jordan have a personal and a professional working relationship together. She takes care of all of his media and PR and is not involved with Tar Heels football. For some reason, people think she is because she shows up so often. I mean, here's the real deal here, okay? Jordan drops by to give Bill a snarling so he can focus on coaching football. That's what that is. And by now, you know what's coming. Britney Spears has now been single for 121 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
I honest to God thought she'd have a man by now.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
We keep hoping. All right, as you know, I do not read your email in advance. Fleabag forwards me your name, where you're from, and tidies them up so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly. And no topic is ever off the table. Randy H. in Port Hueneme, California said, what's your take on J.D. Vance calling Alex Padilla Jose? Again, is there any chance that J.D. might have made a mistake? What if he would have called him Herb? Nothing flies. But because he called him Jose, the Democrats jump on it and make it into a racial issue. Why? Because it deflects from all the crap and the lousy job that they're doing in this country. Let's make it about race. Let's make it about race. I think they're the racists for saying that it's a racial issue. That's what I think about it. Karen K., Phoenix, Arizona. I wanted to let you know that I really enjoy your blog. Thank you. Especially the Battle of the Sexes. So let's see if you can solve this one for me. Why do men always want women to leave after sex? Oh, I've been asked this question a million times, and it's real simple. If men don't love you, if they're not in love with you, okay, they basically treat it like going to the bathroom. Hey, I hit it, now I want to quit it. It's that simple. But if they love you, they simply want to take a breather and go back at it. All right, Skip D, Billings, Montana, said, you said you loved Montana and recommended everyone go to liberal-infested Missoula. Boy, what in the hell is wrong with you? Billings is 10 times better than Missoula, son. So, yeah, but here's the deal. You don't like Californians in Billings, do you, Skip? And by the way, I did post some photos of Missoula on the Rat's Ass Podcast Facebook page, courtesy of my man Maverick. Check it out. Connect it at ratsasspodcast.com. It's really a beautiful place. And Billings is a beautiful place, too. They just don't like guys from Cali. All right, Marianne B., Cumberland, Maryland. I've listened to every single one of your podcasts and want to know 3 things. Number 1, do mushrooms belong on a pizza? Do you prefer whiskey or beer? And 3, boxer shorts or briefs? Okay, Marianne, no, mushrooms do not belong on a pizza, but pineapple does. I do prefer whiskey to make me frisky over beer. And if you have listened to every single podcast, then you know this, that I wear a loincloth and swing from the studio going... All right, Harrison T., Montgomery, Alabama, says, you never talk about some good old Southern rock. Do you like it, and who do you listen to? I played so much Southern rock on the radio, Harrison, that, I like it. I just don't go out on my way to listen to it anymore because most of it's really old. I mean, I do like the Black Crowes, Outlaws, Marshall Tucker Band, Heard It in a Love Song, love that tune. Molly Hatchet, Skynyrd, who doesn't love Skynyrd? 38 Special, Blackfoot, Rosington Collins Band, all of it. Yeah, I dig it. Atlanta Rhythm Section. So did I pass the Rebel Yell test, Harrison? Desi L. from Decatur, Illinois. Again, Illinois. I like to call it Illinois. If you want me to call it Illinois, drop the S. All right, me and 2 of my girlfriends brought a guy home from the bar a couple of weeks ago, and we had our way with him. How long do you think we can get away with... How long do you think we can get away with keeping him tied up on the bed before letting him go? Desi. Do you know what happens when you pull my middle leg? Well, let me show you.
Feel right in this motherfucker. Feel good in this motherfucker. My whole hood in this motherfucker. Here we go rock this motherfucker.
You can't hoodwink me, baby. You can't do it. All right, if you have any questions, observations, or comments, send them to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious, the better. That was a pretty good round, Fleabag, I got to tell you. I really enjoyed that round. If we could have all of our Gmails from our emails that way, I'd be a happy day. I'd moonwalk out of here.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we're playing It Sounds Dirty, but It's Not. Here are the 3 clues again. Number 1, little pricks are usually found in my bush. I have a distinctive aroma. I get dried out and shriveled when I'm old. Sounds dirty, but it's not. But do you know what it is? If you said a rose...
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
You're correct. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got a split. I'm playing pickleball today with an illegal named Jose, but I do have one more thing for you. Studies show drinking alcohol with a meal can help prevent food poisoning as long as the alcohol... Let me go back and do it again. Studies show drinking alcohol with a meal can help prevent food poisoning if the drink is more than 10% alcohol. Now, the way I look at it, this must be why more men don't die from eating their wives' cooking.
Have you ever had your balls pickled?
God, Alexa, no. Have you?
That's funny, ha ha, not funny queer. Do your shout-outs to Rat Nation Pickle Dick.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Amber Hughes of Amarillo, Texas, Chris Vaness, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Paulina Davis from Lansing, Michigan. To the Resistance, those of you who email us but haven't joined the Rat Nation yet. Lisa C. from Birmingham, Alabama, Todd K., Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Dickie T. in Casper, Wyoming, and around the world. In La Paz, Bolivia, Tangier, Morocco, and Manila in the Philippines. Thanks for listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check it out The new ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials, listen to the podcast, join Rat Nation, and read the blog. It's loaded with current events, pop culture, music, current events, current info, concert info, the Radio Wars, sports, our Q&A, Battle of the Sexes, plus Dumbass Awards for 2025 so far. We'll do this again on Wednesday, June 25th. Take care of each other, and thanks again for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. Ratsasspodcast.com.
You could just shut your big yapper.